welcome to a new video. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I'm a uni student. I'm going to be doing a Masters in Digital Management, Digital Marketing in October, and I post uni videos and lifestyle videos and weekly vlogs on my channel. So if that's something you like, please subscribe. I would love to make it to 220 very soon. I'm 210 at the moment, so I would love to make it to 220 very soon. Before we get into this video, if you do enjoy this video or do enjoy my channel, subscribe like I just mentioned. Please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below. Please follow my social medias that are in the description. I'm trying to become more active on my Instagram. Considering I don't have many photos at the moment, but it's fine. And without further ado, let's just roll on into this video. So for this video, I am doing a university, well, not university tips, I've done that, my final year tips, because I know there's going to be a lot of you going into final year in, well, whenever you start back. For me it's October, in the next year for uni, and it's, as much as first year can be dreadful, scary because it's a new environment, it's nothing compared to final year. Final year is a challenge. It is very challengeable, and it really depends. Obviously, it does depend on how your uni does their units. Back in September and October, I was not happy with the fact that they split the terms up. So first time you do 2 units, and then the next time you do another 2 units. So you've got only a term to get them done. Considering for the first 2 years, that's not how it worked for us. We did a whole year for all the units, so it was very hard to adjust to it in my final year. But looking back at it now, if that we're in this whole COVID-19 situation in lockdown, I wouldn't have wanted to do every single exam and coursework in lockdown. That would have been horrible. Probably would still be doing it right now if that was the case. So I'm very grateful that not lockdown the way they did it now, but back then I wasn't. But final year is very dreadful and it's very scary, and I think in the last year I've learnt so many things that I should have done when I approached final year, and wishing that I had done it. Thought I would transfer stuff that I have learnt from either doing it or not doing it, and wishing I had done it, to you guys to help you guys out so you're prepared. So first of all, my biggest thing is it's going to be dissertation tips. The first few things I'm going to say about your dissertation, because the dissertation is probably the biggest thing you'll do in final year. I don't know what it is for other unis, but mine was a double credit, so it was a 40 credit unit, and I know a lot of other people's it was as well. And it's not exactly the most easiest thing to do, but it is the most personal thing you will do. It is the only unit what's the word? It's basically completely your own. It's your own work, it's your decision what you do. No one is telling you what you have to do for that dissertation. That's your choice. So it should be the one you put your all into. I didn't put my all into it because I left it till last minute, but don't do that. Even if you leave the writing till last minute, do all the research a lot more prior to it. I said to myself, and I set myself the goal for last summer, was to start doing research and reading. Did I do any of that? I didn't, but I really wish I did do a lot more reading over summer. Like, I know your summer holidays is your time to take a break from uni from the year before, and trust me, that's what I did. But even if you find 2 hours in your day just to read a piece of literature ready for your lit review, it will help you. Another thing I say is take advice not to the heart, because when they're trying to help you, it's not they're trying to say you're doing really rubbish. They're trying to help you to the point where what you have written might be good, but not good enough for a dissertation. So talk to them, take their advice, ask questions. Big things to do. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You might think it's a stupid question, but if you don't ask, you're going to be stuck. I didn't ask because I was scared to ask, and I got stuck. I'm not the best person at critically analysing, and I didn't understand, and it was 4 weeks before the deadline when I actually ended up getting help, which was the most worst time to do it, because at that point I was like, whatever you tell me, I'm just going to write the same thing basically what I already done, because I don't have the time to try and change much. I don't have the time to read loads of the things again. I have only a limited amount of time. Ask for help. anything, libraries, usually university libraries have like workshops. Well, my one, Portsmouth University, has workshops for like critically analysing other things. Take advantage of them. Don't think, oh, it's pointless, like it's not going to help, because it will, and I regretted it so much. I definitely will be next year, because I've got to do another dissertation and I want to do better next year. Like, if I at least get a 60 in my dissertation in my masters, I will be happy. I don't really know how my masters one works, to be honest. I need to find all that out, but it's fine. We're going to figure that one out next year. I think next year is going to be a lot more fun for me, but that's just me. But I definitely think, take all the help you can get. Any offers, anything they say you've got, it doesn't matter if it gets in the way of you meeting your friends or going to Spoons for lunch. Take advantage of it, because honestly, it will be the best thing you've got. Another thing is, don't sit in a place where don't do your dissertation in your room. My advice, and I definitely tells you this, if you do any other uni work, I struggle to do in my own room, let alone dissertation. Dissertation is the biggest thing, probably the most stressful piece of work you're going to do in final year. And I'll tell you something, you don't want that in the place where you're going to go to bed. Like, most university libraries are open 24/7, apart from this year. And I'll tell you something, I started going to the library 2 days before face-to-face lectures got cancelled. And it was the best, most productive I've been in 4 months. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of the library a lot more next year, and coffee shops, anything that's not my house. Because I feel like, it definitely depends on what your course is, because I know some people courses are like, it's easier to do it at home because it's on your computer. Like my housemates do all the computer game something. I don't remember. Like, I lived with them for 2 years and I still don't remember what their degree is. But I definitely think if you focus in a place, try and do your work in a place that's not your house, you're going to be more productive. Go to the library with friends to do your dissertation. You're all going to be different. You're all going to be doing a different dissertation. Most people aren't going to be doing the same thing. You might have similar topics, but not the same thing. But go to the library with your friends. It's the same with anything usually. Like, even the last 2 years, go to the library with friends. If you're going to get distracted by friends, they don't. But do say go to the library with friends. Maybe book a room in the library, and you will find a place where you feel comfy, cozy. But you will find a place where you feel you can focus. So basically what I'm trying to say is find the most place where you can focus more, even if that's just your kitchen. At least it's not your bedroom. Have a study session with your house in the living room. Like, that's something I can say would be good. That you can have, like, you can all sit there, you can make each other like tea or coffee, you can make yourself drinks. It will be nice. Just putting it out there. Another tip, so moving on to my tips for final year, that kind of can link into to the dissertation, is when you're doing your work, if you listen to music, do not listen to music with words. And I think you can sing along to is probably a bad idea. I definitely found myself not wanting to pay attention when I could sing along. And when I went to the library, I used to use this playlist. I don't know if you can see it, that's why but it's called an all-nighter playlist. I'll try and link it in the description. And I think it's just got like calm music in the background. Is very helpful for doing your uni work, and it can really focus you. There's some ones that say is deep focus, there's study focus, or something I can't really remember, but it helps. Another thing for final year, this more leads to social than uni work, but make the most of your free time. Like, you might want to I definitely say make sure you have time where it's just nice to yourself, because you need that with the stress of final year, but also it is your final year with your uni friends. And yes, if those friends really are your friends for life, you will see them again when you finish, and you will meet up with them in the future, but it won't be as often as you could see them at uni. Uni is your times, but the most time you can spend with those people, you can spend every day with them if you want. You can go to the pub with them, you can go to dinner with them, you can go anywhere with them at uni. Then the real world kicks in, and people are going to get going to work, you've got people going placement, people travelling, because some people take a year out to go travelling. You've got people doing their masters, and they could be doing masters at different universities. You've got everything. Everyone's like moving to the real world now. Yes, you will still probably see them, but it's going to be a lot more harder. This is when your adult life really kicks in, and you see your friends less, and you work a lot harder because you need to earn money. That is how adult life is. So make the most of your time with those friends, because also you've got to remember, when you finish uni, you're probably going to go back to where you grew up, or the home you were in before you went to uni, which means you're not going to be in the same place, same like city as your friends. So I'm not, like, when I finish my masters, I ain't going to be in Portsmouth. I'm probably going to be back in this town for a bit before I can move out wherever I move to. So make the most of your time with your friends up in Portsmouth. For me, yeah, for anyone, wherever you are for uni, because once final year is over, you don't know when you're next going to see those people, apart from your graduation, which for me, I'm very lucky, well, not lucky that my graduation got postponed, because I would have loved it in July this year, but I'm very lucky that in a year's time, not exactly a year's time, next May, I will be graduating with all my friends from the last 3 years, so I'll get to see them again in a year's time. But like, you got to remember that usually your graduation will happen like a couple of months after you finish uni, and then once that graduation is over, it's like, as much as I'm still going to see my friends, I'm also not going to see them as often as I would see them at uni. You might see them once a month, once every few months. Like, I've got a best friend from home who I see probably once every 3 or 4 months, and that's it. And that's what adult life is. You kind of get used to not seeing your friends. So my biggest tip about uni is make the most out of your time when you're not at uni, or if you've got a job, you're not working. One thing I do say at final year, if you have got a job, try not to do too many hours. It is very easy to say yes to doing shifts because you know you will earn money, when if you're doing uni work, you're not earning money. But the more shifts you do, the less time you have to do uni work. I pushed myself to do as many shifts as I possibly could in first term. It was stressful. I had barely any time to do uni work, and when I had deadlines coming up, I was literally crying my eyes out at work because I was stressed, and no one understood it apart from uni students. And then when you tell your friends at work, oh, you got this, it's just uni work, and just if you focus on that day. I'm a person who, if I start my work, I have to focus on it all the time. I can't just focus on it for like a couple of hours and then go to work. I have to focus on it all day. So it's very stressful. And I mean, it's the way life is, and the way uni is, and uni is expensive, and if it depends on how much money you have or how good you are with money, you definitely sometimes need a job. I'm not the greatest with money, to be fair. I got a job originally just to keep me busy over summer and to keep me tied up over summer, and then in the end it just became a point where like I knew that during the final year I'd need money, so I kept my job and I stayed there. I'm entirely grateful I am, because right now at this point I would be struggling and would struggle next year without a job, and so very grateful I still have a job. Another tip I have is when you're applying for graduate roles, this kind of links to people who are doing placements as well. I definitely, my uni have these like interview practice like workshops, and when you have, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like biometric tests or something. When you get through one part of your grad application, so you get through the first part, and then you have all those biometric tests or whatever you do in your application. There's like workshops to help you with that. Take advantage of them, because if you want to get a grad job and you want to do well and you want to get like actually that job go, yes, we want you, you've got to get through those boring things before it, and also you got to get through the interview. And sometimes if you're not used to interviews, and I think especially if you're not used to interviews in the bigger, like whatever, it depends what your degree is in. So for me it's business, and what I would want to do originally was management or something like that, but to do that you would need to have, the interviews aren't going to be as simple as going into retail and sitting there and you hear the questions. And to be fair, so go take the advantage of the interview workshops, but also to be fair, they give you, my uni definitely helps you get part-time jobs and have interview workshops for that, and I didn't take advantage of that. I took advantage of the CV workshops, but definitely that's another thing. Take advantage of whatever career advice centre you have, if they offer you the chance to have a meeting to go through your CV and figure out how to improve it, take it. I did about when I was originally going to be applying for a grad job or an internship after uni before I decided to do masters. I took advantage of it and it was really helpful, and I'm gonna start writing my CV up ready for next year slowly, which I'm really excited for. I don't know why, because that sounds really bad. But definitely take advantage of it. In final year, you'll get given a personal tutor that will be your dissertation supervisor. Take advantage of her. Talk to her of them. Talk to them. Ask them questions. Even if it's not about the dissertation, they are there to help you. If you need someone to talk to, use them. They are people you should be able to trust during final year, because they're the people who are going to help you through a lot, and they are going to be like, I cried to my supervisor once and I hated myself for it, but in some ways that's, she's your personal tutor, or they're your personal tutor, they're meant to help you, and they will help you. Take advantage of them, ask them any questions, and it's one big thing. Ask any of your lecturers about any of your work, any questions, however small, however big, however stupid or however smart, ask it, because if you can get any extra help that's going to help you with your work, you might as well take it, because I'll be honest with you, final year is a struggle. It isn't easy, and it's a test. This last year has been probably the hardest year, and I thought second year was really hard. I've had as much fun as I've had hating it. I definitely think, let's hope you don't go through a worldwide pandemic during your final year of uni, because if you do, that's just going to make it 10 times worse than it already is. And trust me, I've done it. So if someone next year moans to me saying, oh, the work's so hard, I can't do it, I'm going to say, you didn't do your dissertation in lockdown. So, but just definitely take any help you can get in final year, take it. I'm going to have a better dissertation tips video at some point. I will make a proper list of things to do and make a better one, like a designated one for dissertation tips. I'm going to look through my feedback and say what she said to improve in order to help more, but I just thought I'd do a general one for final year. I'm trying to think if I've got any other tips for final year, but I have a big thing. If you don't know what you're going to do in the next year, don't worry too much about it for most of the year. You've got time. And I know it sounds stupid to say, because people are saying you've got to figure it out. No. Like, especially if your parents or your family members are saying you've got to figure out what you want to do when you finish uni. Like, just because back in their day they kind of knew what they wanted to do at your age, that doesn't mean you do. There's a lot more opportunities nowadays, and it's also a lot harder to get a job, so sometimes you've just got to accept it. Like, my plan originally, before, if I wasn't doing a master's, was going to be come back here, work in the Crawley Hollywood Bowl until I can find a graduate job where I know what I want to do. Like, as long as you've got some kind of like job that's giving you money, or some kind of small plan, like even if it's just to travel, just something. But to be fair, just make the most of it. You only live once. You don't have to have everything planned. And I think the reason you're going to stress yourself out more if you start thinking you need to have a plan for when you finish. You need to plan for September, because what's going to happen. I chose to do my masters in February, like literally in February. I wasn't going to do it, and then I said, whatever, might as well just go for it, and here I am. For those of you wondering, I did say in my last video, but for my dissertation I got 50, overall 50. Not the best grade, but it's not the worst grade. Keep an eye on my vlogs and I'll tell you my actual overall grade when I find it out. And I'm going to end this video here. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, and please subscribe, and I will see you again soon with another video.